You know, back in the 60s, car manufacturers were very involved in auto racing, especially NASCAR Grand National stock car racing. The rationale was that fans would see how well a manufacturer's car did on the racetracks and then go out and buy one. Win on Sunday, sell on Monday was the saying. But then in the energy-conscious 70s, auto companies pulled out of racing. Now in the 80s, they're back in the game. But the cars we see on the racetracks these days are barely related to the cars we can buy. So what do the car companies get out of their support for racing? Well, we went to pre-season testing at Daytona International Speedway to find out.
And we found the old adage still holds. This Grand National stock car is still called a Pontiac. And even in its pre-season primer, it looks enough like a Pontiac for fans to quickly make the connection. Pontiac doesn't really expect race fans to rush out and buy a Grand Prix. But they do hope fans will link this high-skilled performer with Pontiac as a brand. After all, race cars are exciting, and that's the same enthusiasm Pontiac wants to build for all of its passenger cars. Factory race support, however, is more than just a marketing strategy. Much current production technology comes from racing. Street tires these days are safer than ever thanks to racing. And the use of lightweight composite materials in cars is a direct result of the quest for faster, lighter race cars. And the same aerodynamics that make a faster race car can also be applied to the body design of production cars. Modifications to Sunbird-bodied race cars have carried over to the street versions. That's part of what the company gets out of all this. But what does someone like champion Richard Petty get to make the association worthwhile? It starts with Pontiac's Super Duty engine program. Pontiac makes special high-performance powertrain components for teams and private buyers. They're sold for race use only, so don't plan on buying them for your street-legal Trans Am. Pontiac also offers technical assistance, including wind tunnel time and advice on all phases of car construction. They'll even recommend non-GM parts that complement Pontiac components. And let's not forget test days, when Pontiac rents a racetrack to give the cars a thorough wringing out. Plus, company engineers are just a phone call away to give advice or answer questions. Pontiac support even goes as far as helping stock car racers like Neil Bonnet find sponsors. And Pontiac sometimes acts as a liaison between the race team and NASCAR, the sanctioning body. Pontiac also makes sure that all of their parts and engineering meet NASCAR standards. It sounds like enough work for an army, but Pontiac Motorsports has only 8 employees. Pontiac won't discuss the cost of its racing ventures, but we estimated between $4 and $5 million each year. That's a little more than a tenth of what it would cost to run a national ad campaign for one new Pontiac model. Since racing gets so much TV, radio, and print coverage, the entire effort looks like a bargain media buy. And the investment has paid off handsomely, with winning cars in NASCAR, IMSA, and NHRA, even though Pontiac says they have no way of knowing how much racing really helps to sell cars. By educated guess, they figure NASCAR support helps them the most. Its fans are the very customers that Pontiac wants to attract. 40% of NASCAR fans are women. And believe it or not, women make up the fastest growing market segment for high-performance cars. They even have their own hero in the form of driver Karen Schultz. The racing program is also a big morale booster for Pontiac employees and their dealers. You take more pride in your work when you're part of a winning team. And winning is still what factory-backed racing is all about, for the drivers, the customers, the fans, and most of all, for the car maker. In this case, a racing heritage of winners is also the capital E in excitement for every car named Pontiac.